the first pivot, it's so instrumental in the world and in our teaching of that lens to mirror, mirror to lens, for us to really, it begins within. And so I just thought it would be great to hear from you a little bit of background on what brought you to choose that as your first pivot, and how you see the world utilizing something like this as we evolve.
Yeah, I mean, there are a number of experiences that I had that don't actually show up in the book, but there's two experiences. One experience happened early in my career where I lost a young man who I was mentoring was shot and killed, and it deeply affected me, but I didn't have the tools. What I understood was the presence of guns, the presence of drugs, the kind of structural external stuff, but didn't really have the tools to understand it, why I was depressed, why I was hopeless, and why I should carry on, right? I had another experience here in Oakland with another colleague of mine, two colleagues of mine. One of them started a school in West Oakland, beautiful school, West Oakland Community School. And she passed away suddenly. And another friend of mine who was a warrior in this work for the youth and justice, he got pneumonia and passed away. And so for me, it was easy for me to lean into a lens explanation of what was going on. But really, what was happening with me was I didn't feel like I couldn't talk about the fact that now I'm having depression, or I'm experiencing anxiety, or I'm experiencing doubt. Like, why should we even continue this justice work? This is the internal dialogue that I didn't have tools to actually deal with. And so the reason I started with those pivots is because in our movements and in our work, I think our default is to point outward. At least for me, our default is to point outward, that this is the problem, this is the thing that happened, this is what needs to be changed, and I'm going to work to do it. And for me, that is half of a profound equation, because the other equation is here. Because I know I'm deeply affected by unjust suffering. I'm deeply affected by the loss of friends. And the mirror work allows me to engage in that journey and that conversation that's healthy about who I need to be and who I need to become and really what I want. So I started with that because for me, that's the basis of transformation. That you can't really engage in transformative work without the tools to go to that inner journey. And so the reflection, the mirror work is the metaphor that I use, which is my mom's mirror, the metaphor is like the mirror is true. The mirror is, and so the quality of our reflection is the degree to which we are telling ourselves the truth, right? That's the quality of the reflection. And so for me, that was the basis, right? How do we build that muscle of reflection in ways that reflect back at us the truth that we've been hiding from? That is when we have a profound muscle of reflection in doing that mirror work.
So good. So metaphysical too, such a part of the teaching here at Centers for Spiritual Living is it begins within. And it just, and I feel that so much of the challenges that are happening in the world is so much the pointing, and so easy to do as a human being until you move into the inner parts of who we are. And I just love the fact that you picked the word pivot. And I use that in my daily life now. I'm going down a path maybe sometimes in the morning that's not necessarily, I might be a little grumpy or something, and I can pivot to see things a bit differently. Mm-hmm. And how profound the pivots are.